Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to episode 2 of the Smash Dispatch podcast. I am here, one of your hosts, Fidel, and joining me once again, my co-host.
Hey, what's up? It's Ultima back again.
How you doing, guys? So first of all, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who supported episode 1. I think a lot of you really enjoyed the idea of a Smash podcast. I think y'all enjoyed it, and I think Ultima and I's dynamic is pretty chill. And yes, I think you guys are going to enjoy what's coming next. We're going to keep going. I took some of your feedback. By the way, I'm recording my own audio this time. I got a better mic now, so audio should sound better. I'll put some background footage for the YouTube version, and I'll put like some light music in the background so it doesn't sound as dead. So does that sound good, bro? How are you doing?
I'm excellent. I'm ready to fucking
You're
chat
good?
about the
You're
future
good?
of fucking Smash Bros. Because it's 2020
Yes.
and we're in the fucking future.
Exactly. Yeah, I need like plus I need like a mental break. This Nintendo Direct stuff is I'm actually starting to lose my shit.
Dude, like,
So
it is. I always do find it weird whenever they do massive maintenance. I mean, I'm hoping that we get like.
Yeah.
It was funny because Kamiya was just like the Switch menu is a piece of shit, right?
Yeah,
It'd be actually kind of
he was
funny
like,
if we
"This
got a
sucks."
patch that like just overhauled the menu.
that'd be so funny if like right after he said that, Kamiya's the god who saves us.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, I mean like memes and stuff aside, a direct will come when a direct comes. But this is a Smash podcast, and this week's theme is actually going to be like a pretty big one because basically we are going to be talking about Smash Ultimate in 2020. Like we're going to talk about what do we think is the game plan, give our predictions, give everything because before we go into 2020, we should talk a bit about Smash in 2019, right? Because how did you feel about Smash in 2019 in general?
I think aside from Joker taking a really long time to come out and then being dropped out of nowhere, I think they paced the DLC pretty well, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
I really like that whenever we would get a new character, we get like a little bit of a teaser of the next character, sort of like, like the perfect like perfection was E3. E3 was perfection. We opened with Hero.
Yeah, E3 was
I'm like,
awesome.
okay, that's super cool. And then we get Banjo at the end, and it was like that was just
Exactly,
perfect.
yeah.
Like I guess also with Terry and then them being like, we're gonna do more past Fighter 5. That was pretty cool too, but.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, I loved last year because, obviously, I think because Smash in 2018 came out in December, I associate 2018 with the hype for the release of Smash.
Yeah.
And I kind of associate 2019 with just Smash being out there and Smash being played, obviously, having its first Evo, having big DLC. Yeah, the wait for Joker was longer, but I guess it makes sense because the game launched and then Piranha was in January. And obviously, I think they were building also the other DLC so that they don't take as much time, thankfully.
Yeah, because between, after Joker, there was a pretty good, a window between all the releases. And if I recall correctly, I think, I'd have to look it up, I'm pretty sure Sakurai said they basically rushed that Joker trailer specifically for the Game Awards.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
I remember him saying that they barely scheduled the voice actors for that trailer.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. I remember him saying after, it was like a day or two after. I think he said, "Yeah, we've kind of just started to work on it. Like we got that together, and now we're kind of working on it." So no, glad they're doing that. And I think Smash in 2019 was big, but I think what's cool about Smash for 2020 was the September Direct, where they specifically told us that Smash is still going to be getting DLC characters past Fighter 5. Now, obviously, we're going to talk about Fighter 5, but I think that's what's really important about Smash in 2020 is that one of the earliest characters we're going to get is probably February, followed by a bunch others. And in general, we can talk about what we're expecting to get beyond that. So let's talk about Smash in 2020. So first of all, I think we should go with the obvious one, which is Fighter 5, right?
Well, right. Well, here's what I want to say just about Smash in 2020 in general, which I think...
Yeah, exactly.
This is amazing, dude. We don't know fucking anything.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Anything.
This is like the first
No
time I
shit.
can remember where okay, the first time before maybe the initial inkling trailer that revealed that we're getting Smash for Switch, right?
Exactly.
I think after that we didn't really know we were gonna be getting we figured maybe they just port Smash 4. We didn't think we were gonna get a new Smash game.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I'll never forget those discussions. Yeah.
But it's the same thing now. I think this is one of the only times I feel considering how fast information travels and how fast leaks spread, this is one of the few times we just don't know anything, which is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, I think what's really cool about this time is I think the idea of, because I think my question is going to be because basically they said they're going to be releasing more DLC fighters past Fighter 5. Do you think once we get the January or whatever February direct we get, do you think they're going to reveal that it's a season 2 and announce a set amount, or do you think they're just going to keep it a mystery and release characters whenever?
I'm thinking past the. Here's what I'm thinking. I mean, obviously, I don't. No one knows what's going on exactly.
Yeah, we don't. Exactly.
I feel like Sakurai, because we had like a Fighters Pass for. Well, we didn't really have a Fighters Pass for Smash 4, did we? They just sort of dropped characters whenever.
Yeah, they just dropped characters.
I feel like Nintendo was probably like, you have to do a season pass for the first set, and then you can do whatever you want. Like, I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Like, as cool as it would be to have like, oh, here's season 2 DLC. I kind of feel like, especially with Sakurai, he doesn't want to be stuck doing the same thing forever, and I feel like characters should just be sort of whenever going forward.
I agree. Yeah, I think, I'm with you on that, because also I think an important aspect is if they do individual fighters as opposed to a season pass, they can drop a character that doesn't necessarily have to have a new stage or a bunch of new songs, right? There's more promise when it comes to a DLC pack. If they're just doing general DLC, that allows them to do stuff like, you know what? Here's 3 Echo Fighters, right? For the price of like $5, with no
with
some music and no stage, right?
As we know, so far, every DLC fighter has been a third party. So there's no reason for Fighter 5 to not be a third party, in my opinion. We'll talk about that later.
I agree.
But I feel like if they just do intermittent characters, we'll get like that Smash 4, like sort of like, holy shit, just Cloud for no reason. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. It's like that's man. It's like, to me that's more exciting because now we can speculate more, because first of all, the question becomes like, how many more, like, I feel like that's the big question. How many more fighters does more, because all they've said is we're getting more DLC fighters. How many is that? Is that just generally for the next 2-3 years? Is it just for this year? It's like,
I feel like
that's
this game
such a
is
big
so
question.
successful, and they're gonna keep supporting it for at least like another 2 to 3 years. Like, I feel like they have no reason to not do that. Any sort of content update, like you were saying earlier, like, you got at this point after we get Fighter 5, totally cool with them just adding some more Echo Fighters. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's still content. You can get stuff that people want, and like it's low development. It's like low development because you already have a frame to work with, and that means they could do bigger things.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like I feel like just Echo Fighters as a concept, I always thought I was so happy when they kind of said, hey, we admit that these are clones and we're setting them in a category, and we're gonna try to have more of them just because they're easy to make. Like, all we gotta do really is reskin, change obviously like damage box hits, and like maybe add a different taunt or something, right? The idea of I always thought
No, I agree. I think the thing about Echo Fighters is like, what bothers, like, that's probably one of the few things that does bother me is like, one, it's kind of underexplored as a concept.
Exactly.
And 2, it doesn't really mean anything to me, at least. Like, what defines an Echo Fighter? Because, like, you obviously sometimes, they have a different property. Like, Chrom Teroi is a good example, right? He has a completely different up B, and his sword is different. But then you have, you have basically Richter, Dark Samus, and Daisy, who are just costumes. Who could have just been costumes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I would really like to see them do more with Echo Fighters if they do, like, add them as DLC. As we all know, like, anything that's added as DLC, because you have to pay for it separate, like, they try to really bump up the quality of what you're getting.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I hope maybe they do like a 3 to 5 Echo pack, right? For like maybe $7 of like, hey, you get 3 to 5 Echo characters. We'll put some songs from their franchises, but no new stage, right? To me, that's like a cool idea, because there's still some obvious ones, right, we don't have in there. Like, again, they could do something like Miss Pac-Man, where it just changes some of the fruits that she throws, right? Or maybe like instead of a fire hydrant, it's something else, right? It's easy stuff like that.
Right.
Obviously, right now, Shadow's a fucking assist trophy, but they could do something a little, or even Metal Sonic, There's still easy echoes they can put in there.
Yeah, like that. I do wonder, like, because we do have characters like Daisy who are just costumes. It's kind of weird to me. If you think about any modern fighter, where does a lot of the monetization go? Like, aside from DLC fighters, there's so many alternate costumes, and it kind of blows my mind that we have Mii costumes all the time. I'm surprised they aren't selling costumes for the actual characters. That's the thing, man. I'm sure they have to get the rights and is it okay if we use this appearance? But it still kind of boggles my mind that we don't have anything like that. Especially because in the very first E3 thing, they were like, oh yeah, here's Mario. He gets these cool alternate outfits, and then that was exactly. Sort of it. They never did that for anyone else.
Yeah. I want to tie into this to one thing I had on Twitter. Dylan JW asked, if you can give 4 more alt costumes colors to many Smash characters as possible, who would get costumes colors and what would they be? That's a good question because I've always talked about this. I would love I don't know, what's another costume? I'd love, again, obviously Mario
let's start with the basic, right?
Yeah.
We did get some new alts for Mario. It would have been super cool if instead of just, a bunch of different colors and then Wedding and Builder, just give him the costumes from Odyssey. Just give him a shit ton of Odyssey costumes.
Yeah,
that's already there for you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And it's how about Peach? Give the wedding... I mean, I know she has a white dress costume in Smash, but give her the wedding-specific costume. Give Bowser his weird suit costume, I want more weird shit like that. I feel like they could do... Even if they don't want to do Echo characters, do more alt skins like Bowser Jr.
Or Alf, yeah.
Or Alf, exactly. Something like that, where it's because when you... I feel like it's an underrated thing to talk about that. Yeah, technically, if you count the, Alf and the other Bowser characters, right? Technically, there's 90 unique, 90 characters represented.
Yeah, models, they're unique models. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. So it's no matter what, if someone loves fucking what's his name, Roy Koopa, that's a character to them, right? So technically, there's about 90 characters that you can play as in the game, and I feel like that's an underrated concept. And I feel like, again, if they just explore more character costumes, whether it's for, I understand maybe for third parties it's harder, right?
Yeah,
but obviously
because
for first
with Pac-Man and Sonic, I know those are the big ones where the alts barely change anything, and that honestly don't know. But see, here's what's weird to me about those costumes in particular.
Right.
With Hero, and we all know Square Enix has a big stick up their ass.
Yeah, exactly.
But with Hero, Sakurai was able to get them to be okay, here's different pro tags from the series. It's very surprising to me that they could get Square to agree to that, but they couldn't get colors for Sonic that reference all the other characters.
So weird.
Why is there no Knuckles colored Sonic or a Tails colored Sonic? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I get obviously a red Sonic has those implications of he's fucking covered in blood or some shit. But it's that would have been so cool. Or again, it's there's just some easy things they could add in there. And again, I think Nintendo really underestimates how much money they can make selling a costume pack. I genuinely think
because Mii costumes always sell. People like buying Mii costumes.
Yeah,
but people
exactly.
But a lot of people when they see Mii costumes are it's not a big deal. I don't really care because I don't play the Miis. Right. But actual costumes for in-game characters, people are oh yeah, I main that character. Of course I'm gonna fucking buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And again, it's I feel because in this game, Miis are a little more fun. People have been using the Mii costumes a bit more. I do think they're being more used this time around, which is good. Which is a good thing.
Also, that's something I would really, really like to see. I think there's such a when they added Sans and they said, comes with Megalovania. Why don't third-party costumes come with a song that represents the character, Goemon?
Yeah.
I was oh yeah, shit, Goemon's super cool. I love the N64 game. Why didn't the Goemon costume come with a song? That would have been super cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, tying into that, another Twitter question we had from Lunar Live was, do you guys think they'll have more costumes that are like Sans that'll have a song from them? Or do you think it was a one-time thing? Because I feel like that's an unexplored concept, because the Sans Mii costume, it really does feel to me like Sans is kind of in Smash, especially with the song in there.
Yeah,
I know he's not actually playable, but it feels like
the amount of detail on that too. There was even I saw this not too long ago. There's an unused texture for his eye to glow, and it doesn't. You don't use it, but the glowing eye is in the game in the costume files. Right. So it definitely feels like the Sans costume had a lot of care put into it, and I don't know if that's just because maybe Sakurai and Toby Fox are close because he literally went to Sakurai's house, but
of course,
I think more Mii costumes like that, and it doesn't even have to be again, the Sans costume has a ton of details, but just even in terms of having a song that represents the franchise of the character,
exactly,
that would be I think that would be great, because then it would feel like that character belongs there more. You know what I mean?
I mean, also another thing that's important to note is obviously sales are what ultimately drive decisions, right? So I think because they saw the overwhelming success of Sans the Mii costume, I think it will mean that they'll be like, oh shit, okay, whoa, people really do love this and are gonna want more of this. So I'm hoping they do a bit more of that. Like for example, what's in like another easy one is like a Shovel Knight. I know he's an assist trophy, but it would be cool if he had a costume for like the Mii swordsman, right? That's such an easy one. That way you can get a Shovel Knight song in there too.
Shantae for the brawler or whatever would be easy too, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, Shantae I get is different because of the body structure. Like Sans looks like a mask, right? Like he looks like he's wearing a mask. So it has to be a character that can kind of be like, you can kind of make it look like that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, again, I really, really hope we get more of those. That's going to be a big one. But again, let's kind of focus on the characters, right? Because that's obviously the big one. First of all, the big question here is Fighter 5.
So
who do you think?
I think there's absolutely no reason for it not to be a third-party character. I think everyone agrees on that, right?
I agree.
Like,
I think that's the first thing we should go with. Yeah, that at least for whether if this is season 1 or whatever, all this entire pack is third-party characters.
Yeah, because it just wouldn't make sense for him to throw in like fucking Byleth with the rest of them. It'd be like, why? Exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't fit. I mean, yeah, it's what Reggie said, right? The point of this DLC is characters from other worlds that are unexplored.
Yeah. Sakurai said like, I want to connect as many franchises as possible. So
exactly. And so we got to think, right? Square has a rep already from the DLC pack. Who else has a rep? It's Square. It's
Atlas is technically part of Sega, so I don't know if people count Joker as a Sega rep, quote unquote. But if you want to get technical, yes, he is one.
Yeah, I think it is a Sega rep technically, because they had to work with that.
We have SNK, which is another really big one because the Neo Geo was a big deal.
Right.
And then Microsoft has Banjo. So like honestly, like the only one that's really missing is Sony, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing, right? Of like, do you... because we have Microsoft,
well, technically Square, Persona is Sony exclusive.
Exactly, but that's like a weird one.
Yeah, it's sort of like a middle ground where like the main series games... It's kind of like Kingdom Hearts where like the main series games are always on one platform, but then the side games go to other platforms, you know?
Right. No, that's the thing. It's like... that's the thing. If Character 5 is a Sony rep, I think it would be Crash because he's not technically a Sony rep anymore.
No,
but he has
he's
obviously
timed
big
exclusive.
history.
Like him
with
and
that.
Spyro are both timed exclusives where they came out on their home platforms first because, you know, they were born there, and then they came out on everything else later.
Exactly. To me, that actually strengthens Crash's chance because if he was purely a Sony character, there would be a way more harder troubles to get that there. But because he's part of Activision now, it's easier to get him in while also being like, hey, this character is important to Sony's history and lineage, so obviously it's kind of like a Sony rep in the game. So I feel like Crash is the most likely Sony character unless PlayStation legitimately directly wants a character in.
I feel like Crash works because as of right now, Crash is the most relevant. Because let's think about Ratchet and Clank. After the movie, they kind of like are MIA. Yeah. Like nothing's really happened with Ratchet and Clank for a while, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Same with Sly. Same with Jack and Daxter. Those are just sort of dormant right now, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, and not that matters because again, relevancy isn't exactly what matters for third-party characters. But I feel like if we're going about the timing of things, like with Terry, even like. I know, like, you know, SNK, it's not a household name for everybody, but keep in mind, like, KOF 14 came out not too long ago, KOF 15 was announced, is in the works, and SNK is still very relevant right now, you know?
Yeah, and again, it's like, I feel like, that's the thing, like, I love Ratchet and Clank, but I just think they are way too removed from Nintendo in any shape or form. Like, every DLC character has, like, at least some history with Nintendo, whether it's direct or indirect. Like, Cloud was never on Nintendo when he was in Smash, but he's also one of the most iconic gaming characters of all time.
And when you say Final Fantasy, most people will say, Cloud Strife, you know?
Exactly, and obviously no matter what, Final Fantasy has been represented with Nintendo. Snake for Metal Gear has been represented with Nintendo. So it's like, in some way, all the characters have some kind of lineage, whereas Ratchet and Clank, I think, is a little too far removed from that. So I don't think it's that. So yeah, we have a potential of a Sony rep. What about... So we don't have a Capcom rep, right, for the DLC pack?
It's true, but partially I feel like Capcom has gotten so much love in Ultimate already.
Yeah.
Like...
Exactly.
Like, okay, because keep in mind, like, when we, from Smash 4 alone, it had Mega Man and Ryu, and obviously those two are very, very cherished in their own right. But then, in Ultimate, we got not only those two back, but we got Ken. We got so many Capcom spirits, like, they just dropped Resident Evil on us as well, which is, we that to me, like, that, by the way, that basically deconfirms Resident Evil in my opinion.
Leon,
but we can talk about that after I'm done with this point. And also we got Rakdos as a boss, because Monster Hunter is such a huge fucking franchise too, you know?
Yeah. No, it's like, that's what I worry about. Of like, I feel like because in the base game, Capcom got so much love that at least for Season 1 of the DLC, like the specific pack, I don't know if Capcom gets something until we get to the extra fighters. Like,
I feel like they'd be past this Fighter 5, for sure.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of people are throwing around Koei Tecmo because of their relationship with Nintendo in the past few years.
It's very true. I mean, they helped publish Three Houses, which was a fucking massive success. So
yeah, exactly. Not just that. Sense. I mean, they've worked on both Warriors. I know for a fact,
like, we know that there were so many rumors, like, oh, it's Ryu Hayabusa, which wouldn't make sense because, you know, Ninja Gaiden was a Nintendo thing, and then he spun off into Dead or Alive and has his own series. But I think there was so many people right now are saying that like that's not what Fighter 5 is. So who fucking knows?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to tell, but again, it's like. Ryu's, I don't know why I just can't muster excitement for him. Like, again, I'm sure if he got in, he'd be cool. But I feel like, I think because I don't know if when they finished the first 5 DLC characters, I don't know if, they didn't know right away they were doing a second wave of fighters. So I feel like Fighter 5 has to be a bit of a big character after Terry. Because again, Terry, iconic to KOF and stuff like that. But I feel like Character 5 is going to be something a little bit bigger. Like, I don't think it's going to be filling the niche to make that character grow. I do think Fighter 5 is going to be something
I feel like, personally, this might be a crapshoot. But it might be a character that's really big in Europe. Because let me tell you why. Every single fighter so far seems to have, like, there's a whole region that, like, they sort of, like, appeal to, right? We have Banjo for the West. Dragon Quest is very big, like, obviously legendary in Japan.
Yeah.
Terry, I mean, SNK in general, very, very big in Latin America and China. China, too. Like, China is very big on King of Fighters. And then Joker was sort of like a middle ground because, you know, P5 got so popular over in the West as well, you know? So between all those characters, I feel like what we're missing is someone that really, like, has a hold in Europe. Because if you remember when Bayonetta was revealed, even Sakura was like, she was the most voted character in Europe, which... we don't actually know if that's true or not, but that's a different story.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know. Exactly. That's a different conversation. The fighter pass, the fighter ballot.
Yeah. But
so, do you know who's popular in Europe? Because I have no idea who that could be.
I don't know. Like, I feel like Europe is very big with, like, I feel like Europe is very big with RPGs in general, but I just don't know anything specific off the top of my head. Like, I know characters like Crash are obviously very, very big over there in the West too. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, also a lot of people throughout the year have been throwing out the idea of Doom Guy or the Skyrim dude as a Bethesda rep. And I don't know. Again, I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like here's the big issue, especially with Doom Guy. As much as I would love Doom Guy and think he would be funny, I think they'd have to make too many changes that would actually not be able to fit that character. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
it's
I think if they did Doom Guy, what I would really like is, like, obviously Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, like, the whole appeal is, like, the sort of visceral gore and, like, how fast it moves and everything.
Exactly.
But I think what they could easily do is sort of use, like, SNES Doom Guy, you know, with, like, the cartoony particles, and that would still be very representative of what Doom is, you know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
That's still the core of Doom at its heart. And so that's why I think Doom Guy would work. Because I think you still get all the cartoony guns and all that sort of thing to fit within the Smash Bros. Universe. What I don't think would work, like, in that regard, because I know a game can be M and you can still be in Smash, right? But it's about, like, sticking true to the character. I feel like a character like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat Like, he'd be cool, but I feel like you take away what a lot of people love about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
like, we saw it with Mortal Kombat versus DC, where they had to, like, neuter everything, and fans were like, what is this? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, it just depends on what the character does, and if it can still be adapted in, like, a way that is appealing for the character.
Right. And also, I mean, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like there could be a comedy style to the Doom guy. Like, if it was like, it would be cool if it was like pixel blocks that come out of characters when they get like shot or hit or something. That could be really funny. Like they can comedic it or whatever. But I feel like, that's that for that one. Another one, obviously, a big thing would be a Bandai Namco character, right? I mean, obviously, like, Bandai helps Nintendo make the game. And obviously, they're not, like, I think they're professional enough to not be like, since we're making it, we owe you a character. But I feel like maybe they could get a character in, right?
Well, yeah, it does feel very weird to me that we only have Pac-Man. I mean, Pac-Man's fucking huge. But Namco is so much bigger than just Pac-Man now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Bandai,
So, because we know that Sakurai has said for Smash 4 that he wanted to put in Heihachi, and, like, he couldn't figure out how to make him work. And we don't exactly know why that is, but I feel like if you think about how unique all the DLC characters have been. Like, aside from Banjo, they've all had, like, some weird gimmick to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That breaks the mold of a traditional Smash character. I feel like Heihachi could definitely do that. I feel like not enough time has passed. Sakurai could probably figure out how to make the character work in a Smash game.
Yeah, I mean, like that's saying, it's like, I think specifically, at least for Fighter 5, it's not going to be Heihachi just because we just got Terry, who is from a fighting game lineage. Like you said, I feel like they're going for different genre types and different universes that are kind of very different. Like, I think, like, if you do Heihachi, you're kind of going to have another, like, Ryu/Terry's style character. I think they want to do something unique and different for Fighter 5. It's just so hard. Again, in a good way, it's hard to speculate because obviously Smash is Smash, and we're going to get into the extra fighters. But what do you think about... I don't think... See, even if, like, I feel like someone like Master Chief, I think, again, that's extra fighters, not number 5, because we got Banjo as that DLC rep.
Yeah, I don't think it makes sense to go back to Microsoft, you know?
Exactly, yeah. I think that'd be too much. Yeah, again, what about, like, I feel like, again, even if I want Geno, I think that would fit into extra fighters because we already kind of got a square rep. So it's hard. Yeah, it's like, if you were to go by your gut, like, your 3 choices for who Fighter 5 would be, who would you go with?
That's really hard. I definitely feel like, Heihachi is still in the cards because if I recall correctly, I don't think they added his Mii outfit in the game yet. And I feel like that doesn't have to mean anything. But I feel like the Mii outfit not being there it means that it's either coming, so it's going to be like in something related to it, or they just upgrade him to a character. So I think Heihachi makes sense. I think Doom Guy makes sense considering Doom Eternal is coming out and they have been pushing Doom games on the Switch as of late.
Right.
And I do think Doom Guy can still work within the context of Smash Bros.
Fair enough.
And then, like, number 3, like, honestly, I really don't know. Like, it's so hard because we legit know nothing.
Exactly, yeah. Again, I think it'll open up more when we talk about extra fighters because that's when we can go into, like, first-party character speculation and stuff. But for, Fighter 5, it's hard. Yeah, for me, Fighter 5, I just feel like it's hard. Like, I feel like it's either, like you said, it might be Ryu. It might be Heihachi. It might be Lloyd from Bandai, right? Like
that would make sense. It would make sense to get another, like, a different Bandai character. It doesn't have to be Tekken.
Exactly. Again, I maybe the problem with that is that, like, that would be 3 JRPG characters represented in the fighter pass. But it's like, I just wonder. It's hard to tell. But again, we're gonna find out soon, hopefully, because this thing, again, it says it should end by February. It doesn't mean it can't be later, but I think obviously it's gonna try to aim for the February slot there. And then so let's kind of go wild with what's next, right? Basically, outside of Fighter 5, what are we getting throughout the year? Let's take a bit of a break from necessarily fighters. Let's talk about Smash itself in terms of content and modes before we get into fighters. So do you think, because in the last when did we get Target? It was during the Banjo Direct, right? We got Target Smash, or was that during
we got home run contest.
Home run contest, home run contest. So it's like, and I think they said it is the last or one of the last modes in the game, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think there's some kind of new mode that's going to be added? Do you think an old mode is going to return? What do you think is going on with that? Or like just in-game new content that isn't a character?
I would hope that they do the brawl-style target smash. Like, okay, we all know there's no fucking way they're going to do a unique target test for this many characters. It just doesn't, it doesn't make sense. Exactly. I'm thinking maybe... You know how in Brawl the target tests were just general stages that were just generic for everyone? Mm-hmm. I think they could easily do something like that. Like, I would like to see that, because I do think there is a certain amount of fun to that, because, you know, you can have who's the fastest overall, and then each character can have their own method for going through the stage, you know?
And I feel like so far the modes and stuff they added, other than tournament mode, have kind of been things you mess around with it like 30 minutes and go off. Like again, the stage builder felt like it was fun for a week. What's it called? Hit the beanbag or whatever the fuck it is was fun for like a day. So it's like I feel like the modes and stuff they've added have been fun for like a bit. So I want something like hit the targets whether it's like specific sets of stages or individuals, just so that it's a mode that I can spend like a week or two trying to clear. Obviously that's me like doing it fast, but it's like I want something that feels substantial, like I want to go in and do this, as opposed to let me just mess with this the day it comes out because it's exciting and then move on. Or like the video editor that's in there that literally only very specific people trying to make memes on Twitter or YouTube are using.
Speaking of that, I would, like, can we please just be able to use the capture button?
Oh, please. Yeah, I wish they'd figure that out. Again, people have told me on Twitter that it is because of power. Like, apparently it does use power to be able to record. But, like, please solve it. Like, do something where, like, I don't know, big parts of the game are deactivated during a fight so that it can't allow you to record video. Or make it so that, like if I feel like it's okay if they make weird exceptions, like okay, maybe during 8-player Smash you can't use it, but at least during 1v1s, because like that is the amount of matches you would see. Like I feel like that was a big hit for the game, because man, people love sharing their final moments of a fighting game, right? They just do. It's like that's just the thing people love to do in 2020 for fighting games. Show me the big cool kill you do at the end of the match. And right now, the only people that do that are people like us who have a capture card, or obviously people who are literally doing the thing where they pull their SD card from their Switch and put it on their computer and edit it. So it's like you gotta make a way to have people be able to share it, or at least from the Switch, like from the game itself, find a way to share to YouTube like they did on Wii U or something.
Yeah. Like, it's fine. Like, for the most part, it's fine. You can just save a replay and watch it back. But there are some game modes where you just can't do that, and that's what annoys it.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. So I just want them to be able to solve that. Because, again, the picture taking is amazing. But it's like being able to at least capture those final moments of a match is like all someone really needs. You can get some really funny, cool videos on Twitter. But yeah, in terms of modes, I feel like an easy one they could do would be a boss rush. Like I was actually surprised.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like all the well, actually, speaking of boss rush, they could definitely add more to World of Light. There are so many like extra spirits now that they could definitely maybe do like a remix version. Because I know not a lot of people enjoy it, but maybe like a rush battle mode people would enjoy more.
Exactly, like some kind of like something like either, because again in World of Light, the end, like one of the last levels, it's not a fucking spoiler anymore. You have to fight a bunch of the bosses. But I feel like if you add obviously the difficulty meter to the bosses, and hey, maybe you do
and add a timer, like make it be like a thing that people want to speed run and like compete against each other for good times.
Yeah. And like exclusive spirits for beating that mode and stuff like that. It's like I feel like you could have like a cool boss rush mode that doesn't take too much development effort. And again, I feel like the cool surprise they could do there is add a few of the ones that were in like Brawl. Like if they added Rayquaza back in there, or Porky. That would just be really cool. I feel like a lot of people would mess with that, obviously wanting to clear them with different characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think something that makes people want to go back to at least maybe play World of Light a little bit more would have been really nice.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think also, like, aside from obviously a big mode, which again we're assuming is happening, it's likely that it's not. Do you think they'll do what are new settings and stuff you want to be able to do? Because I feel like One of the best little things they changed was that you can finally change arena settings online when you're in a room and you don't have to close it.
Can we just get For Glory back, dude? Like, it's not hard. Give us For Glory back.
I know. I mean, again, like, I feel like right now it is easy to get a 1v1 in the settings you want. But yeah, I would like a dedicated For Glory because the fucking Elite Smash makes 0 sense and I fucking hate it. There's just like, I don't know. I know how to get in there. But the amount of matches you have to do and get lucky to win in a row to get in is just infuriating.
Yeah, like what? Well, also because the amount that you lose for losing a match sometimes just takes away all your progress. And like,
exactly.
What was nice about For Glory was like it was based off your win percentage. Like that's what matters.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Not like it didn't feel like an endless grind. You just knew you were gonna get matched with players that were around your skill level based on your win ratio.
Yeah, because I've checked my win ratio for online. I'm about like 50%. Like I lose half my matches, I win half my match. So it's like I just feel like there should be like just an elite mode for like a certain amount of wins you have or something. Because yeah, like the Elite Smash literally just it makes 0 sense and it's too penalizing and weird. And especially because now like when someone like right now I have characters in the game that have like 5 million fucking Smash points and I've never touched those characters in my life. So that system is all fucky. Aside from that, I do want more. I would like more arena settings. Like I would love, like for the love of God, let multiple matches run at once.
Yeah,
like,
no,
please,
that's what's
like,
super. Like, okay, it is so frustrating to run an online tournament.
It is,
like,
dude. Oh my God.
Unless you have multiple like people who are like you need basically you need like multiple tournament organizers because they have to go into these arenas and make sure like everything's okay with the matches and all that shit. Like, if you could just have multiple people within the same arena fighting each other, it would be so much easier. Like,
or like,
and you can just be like, okay, which match do you want to spectate? Do you want to spectate this one or this one? Like,
exactly. And and like, I'd love something. Again, this is something I would love for my streams because, like, let's say I want to do 1v1 with viewers. Right now, I got to do a thing where I let one person enter. Because like I don't want to let 8 enter because if I lose a match, I go in back of the line. You gotta tell people, oh wait, let me back in, and then the guy that's behind me. It's like just make it so have a setting so that the creator of the room can choose to always be in the match. That would be a godsend. And like let me change characters without having to lose my spot. Right? That's another big one. Like that is so dumb that you lose your spot if you change a character. Because sometimes you just want to change your character without losing it. It's like that's a normal thing people want to do. So please fix that. Like that little change would do wonders.
Well, just in online in general, like I hate that like you fight someone and you just have to keep playing as the same character. Like in For Glory, you could change characters between matches.
Exactly. Like I get they want to make it quicker, but yeah, it's like I don't want to like I want to be able to fight the guy I'm fighting again if I'm having a good run against him without having to just stick to the one character I have because I want to be able to adapt. Of like, okay, clearly my Mario isn't good against whatever character he's using. Let me switch to Inkling. You know what I mean? So it's like, in a good way, they're showing that they are updating online, whether it's arenas or adding these settings. So I actually think realistically, we're just gonna get more setting updates as opposed to modes, which I'm okay with. Like I feel like that's still cool. Yeah. So what else? So yeah, I mean, I guess let's go to the big one, which are the extra fighters that we're getting, right? Like that is the biggest question mark and the biggest what's going on. So first, I think for that, do you think and agree that we are also gonna get first party characters in there?
Of course, yeah. I feel like there's no way we don't. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Especially, I think the biggest one is Byleth for sure, only because really weird there were absolutely 0 3 houses spirits like at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Wouldn't they want to promote the game coming out like they've done with like they did it with Daemon X Machina, they did it with Sword and Shield, and a lot of people thought that we would get like maybe Rillaboom or Cinder Ace as like a fighter from Gen 8.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I feel like that's just a shoe-in. Like we're just gonna get a bunch of either Echo fighters or first party fighters for the rest of the past because it does feel like there hasn't been a lot of representation for like the Switch and Wii U library, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like that thing. It's like also we didn't get Astral Chain spirits, which is really weird. Like, I feel like that's another one. I mean, like, when you think about it, to me, one of like, I do think the Akira, the main character of Astral Chain, is possible because first of all, that would be a pure Platinum rep that also works with Nintendo, as opposed to Bayonetta, who's Sega. And like obviously the moveset could be so cool, right? Of being able to kind of stand aside and hit while your different legions can switch around and stuff. Like you could,
or you can like detach them and like do cool shit between the two.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like that would be very unique. I think at least that's like my favorite thing about the newer fighters, that they're all super unique. Like none of them like maybe some of them borrow some like similar moves for the A attacks, but overall they all feel very different.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, so I feel like that would be a cool one. But yeah, so like this is a fun discussion here. So yeah, for example, for extra fighters. So let's do first party and then do third party. So who do you think are the most likely first party candidates in general?
I feel like Byleth is a shoo-in just because, you know, the whole lack of spirits is weird.
Do you think it would be Byleth, or do you think it would be one of the house leaders?
I feel like, as much as I would prefer it to be one of the house leaders, but then I feel like I feel like they won't do it only because, like, you know, technically they aren't who you play as in the game. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I would want that, because I would like a character who doesn't use a fucking sword from Fire Emblem, which I think is the biggest problem with. It's not, for me. It's not that I don't have a problem with there being that many Fire Emblem characters. Except that they all fucking like almost play the same. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like I don't mind. Like, to me, the characters I enjoy the most for Fire Emblem are Robin because of the spells and the sword, and Corrin because like like those two just have a really like unique moveset within Fire Emblem. But yeah, it's like Fire Emblem.
Yeah, if I had to choose, I would go with Marth, Ike, Robin, Corrin. I would just have those four characters. Everyone else just doesn't matter, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Again, like, the good thing is, like, the reason there's a lot of them is just because clearly they're easy to make.
They're easy to make.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, we know it's not like they're stealing character slots or whatever. But it's like, Byleth, let's talk about Byleth, because Byleth, the unique thing would be obviously be like the sword of the creator that extends and shit, right?
Yeah, you know, like Kratos in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Like, Jesus
like, that's
Christ.
how I'm envisioning it. Like, he just has these long chain attacks, you know, with his sword.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like he sort of had like the same A attacks as like the Belmonts with like the sort of chain whip, but then like he would have a bunch of different cool special moves with like different crest attacks and shit like that. And then easily the Final Smash can just be a battalion animation or whatever.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean maybe the Final Smash is how you get the three leaders, right? Like, you put them in a big, like, attack together. But, see, here's my thing. Do you think, because in Fire Emblem 3 Houses, there were multiple, like you know, the legendary weapons, like the Sword of the Creator, there was, like, the spear and all that. Do you think a cool mechanic could be that maybe you could switch between those? That way
I would
it
hope
doesn't
that you
come
could
off
have
as just a
different.
sword.
It would be nice to have different weapons. Like, that's probably one of the biggest things that I think is a problem, because, like, you know, so many characters in Fire Emblem, you have main, important, very fan-favorite characters. Like, you have Hector. You have Ephraim, who uses a lance. Hector uses an axe. Claude fucking uses a bow. We don't have characters who use those weapons. There's no, I guess technically maybe the Belmonts for one special move, but like there aren't characters who use an axe. There's no character who uses a bow. There's no character who uses a spear. You know, so I feel like that would be a really good way to represent more of what the series is about than just having swords.
Yeah, no, that's it's like, I feel like if they're gonna do Byleth, I would hope that it's multiple weapons of the creator as opposed to just the sword. Or again, my dream scenario would be a Pokemon trainer style where you switch between the three house leaders, and aside from a down B, they each have like a unique kind of moveset. Like, that would be
that would be really cool if you could have like do a triple character sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, because obviously those are the three like main like characters that are really represented in the game, and they speak a lot, and you know their stuff. And I feel like you like, as much as like Edelgard is the most popular, you would be annoying people that love Dimitri or Claude if you didn't have them in there, or Claude exactly. So yeah, so it's either Byleth or like a triple Pokemon trainer version there. Another first party. Yeah,
I know. Yeah. Speaking of Spear, I know this is one that that people like. I don't get why people are very against it. I think we really need Bandana Waddle Dee.
Yeah, I knew
first off,
there.
Bandana Waddle Dee uses a spear, and if you've played any of the recent Kirby games, they basically have like Smash Bros. Movesets where like doing certain combinations of like a direction and an attack button with B do certain attacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, that's saying it's like And
Kirby, and the thing with Kirby is like we know Sakurai has a bias towards the Kirby games that he was directly involved in. That's why we have Marx as a boss. You know, that's why like we get superstar stages and stuff like that.
For sure.
But we have like nothing to represent modern Kirby aside from a few songs. You know what I mean? There's all the 3DS games. There's Star Allies. There's Return to Dreamland. You know?
Exactly.
And none of that is represented in Smash aside from a few songs. And I feel like Bandana Waddle Dee would be a really good meeting ground because that's a playable character in a lot of those titles.
Yeah, see, like, I love that. This discussion is really important because, again, for Waddle Dee is, first of all, I'd totally be cool with it. I love Bandana Waddle Dee. I think not having a spear character is weird, and obviously, like, the thing about him is his moveset speaks for himself, right? The up B is, like, him propelling his spear. His side B is him throwing spears. But I feel like that's also the argument people use, is that all his attacks would just be different spear hits. But it's like, again, I don't mind that. I think the hate, quote unquote, for Waddle Dee just comes from the fact that if you don't give a shit about Kirby, then to you that character is just, isn't that one of those like Toad things? But like,
people are like, it's a Goomba with a weapon or whatever, you know, like people don't understand that like he has a very different moveset from the other characters in Kirby.
Yeah, and that they've obviously, in general, over the past few years, have made him a main character. Ever since Return to Dreamland, Bandana Waddle Dee has just been part of the cast, whether it's like in multiplayer or even in what's it called, the Wii U game Kirby fucking Rainbow Curse or whatever. He was the secondary character, so it's like that character just has a lot to him, and you can tell they're trying to make him a thing. So it's like, yeah, I feel like that would be cool. And again, obviously the big thing is finally getting a spear character in the game.
And then there was one more I was thinking of, but I'll have to get back to it because I just can't remember it right now. But yeah, basically. No worries. I think that would be really good. Oh, okay, I remember now. I think I really do want a Rhythm Heaven character. And I'll tell you why. There's no representation for rhythm games in Smash aside from a few songs. And think about this. How cool would it be if you had a character who, like, you had the time hits almost like a rhythm game to do, like, the optimal thing. You know how, like, sort of like how, like, you know, in Cinnamoroll you have to time the B on his side B to get, like, the stronger hit. But imagine, like, all your moves are like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Of, like, it's like, that would be such a cool concept. And do you think if they did Rhythm Heaven, who would they go with? Would they go for Chorus Kids or Fighter Joe or whatever his name is? Karate Joe?
I think maybe Chorus Kids, because what you could do is you could have like sort of 3 stacked on top of each other to like not be like super tiny, and that would be actually really fucking funny too. You could also have the one that a lot of people overlook is because this this series is owned by Namco. Do you know Taiko, like the drum, like I think it's Don Chan.
I know you're talking about.
They could easily have him, and then also that would work for Namco because Namco owns that character.
Exactly. Yeah, that would work. And it's like, I'm totally down for Rhythm Heaven. I love Rhythm Heaven music. I would love Rhythm Heaven in general as a thing. It's like, I feel like that would be a cool character. And obviously, like, there were... did Sakurai ever say he wanted it, or was it just like... or was that just a big
there were some
Rhythm
Heaven characters in Smash Run. And then
that's what it was.
I think the thing about like Chorus Kids was I think maybe I don't know if I'm recalling this correctly. There was like a really old Gamatsu leak when Smash 4 was coming out that hinted that Chorus Kids would be in. But I think everything was right about that except Chorus Kids. So either like maybe it was true and they were scrapped, or maybe like maybe it was wrong. But I just remember hearing about that like really early in Smash 4.
Yeah. Another big one that people have been wanting, obviously was not heavily hinted, but obviously Sakurai clearly wanted in the game was Rex, right? Rex Pyramithra. Again, I know, like, if anyone tells you that they're not going to get in because he's a costume is wrong, because they literally said he's not in because we just finished the draft before Xenoblade 2 was out or anything. So I think Rex and / Pyramithra in the background, or whatever you want to do with that, have definitely a chance to get in, right? Especially if, like, I know Xenoblade Definitive Edition is coming out, and that's not that, but it would give some extra hype for Xenoblade in general. and that franchise could finally get like Xenoblade 2 specifically can get a character they love, because like the fans really love and want that character in. What do you think? Would you
Yeah, like I know a lot of people were heartbroken by
the Mii costume.
They were heartbroken by the fucking Rex costume, and
yeah,
I feel
pre-order.
like even if Rex is a costume, that doesn't exclude Xenoblade Chronicles X at all.
No.
Or even Cosmos, which is owned by Namco, could also happen, because people thought that might have happened as well, but...
Yeah, no, exactly. Again, and it's like, I know some people would like to throw around the argument of like, oh, there's a Mithra spirit, but like, guys, they can make another spirit. It doesn't, like, that doesn't, and I also think there's a big difference between, there's a fair argument to be had about spirits that were in the base game versus DLC spirits, because I feel like DLC spirits are ones that can kinda confirm or deconfirm a character, because we've seen that they like to add a set of spirits based on the character they're adding. So again, when Daemon X Machina gets spirits, you can tell, okay, we're clearly not getting that in. And when you get something like what's it called, the Resident Evil spirits, it's like, okay, they would have just timed that with Leon's release if that was becoming a thing. So it's like, there is some credence to spirits at the moment for DLC specifically kind of deconfirming. Again, it doesn't fully mean anything or that, but it's like, that is like a fair conversation to be had.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, because there was I don't know who said it,
right,
and I remember seeing this post. Someone did a really good explanation for it, and basically it was like, every fighter that we get as DLC has their own exclusive set of spirits.
Yeah, exactly.
If there was going to be a Resident Evil fighter, and you're putting in characters like fucking Jill, Wesker, Chris, why would those not be associated with the DLC spirits you get with the character? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
if those were in the base game, maybe. Like, I think base game plans can change.
Base
like,
game doesn't count.
Everyone's
like,
oh, Gino can't be in because he's a spirit.
Yeah.
But, like, in my opinion, maybe at the time they didn't have plans for Gino, and then they were like, okay, maybe later on they decided they can go and do it. And
yeah, exactly.
You also have like characters who have different versions of themselves as spirits.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
K. Rool has like K. Rulenstein and like
Yeah.
Captain K. Rool, which is it's still the same character. It's just a different costume, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you
so
said,
I think base game spirits most likely
count,
don't mean anything. I don't think we've been proven wrong yet.
Yeah.
But DLC spirits absolutely, I think, are pretty sus. Like, especially
exactly.
For Resident Evil, I think that's the biggest one for me, especially because they came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I agree with you. And yeah, here's the thing. So then, like, so for any other Nintendo, like any first party other characters you think have a shot, or do we move on to third party?
No, I think that's it for like extra Fighters Pass characters. Like, obviously there's a few more that I could add from other series that like were on the Switch, like. Oh, I don't fucking know. Like a lot of it would be Echo Fighters in my opinion. I feel like there would have more Echo Fighters for the second season, just because they're easy and there's a lot of things that people want to see, like your Miss Pac-Man, like Octoling. I know a lot of people want an actual Octoling in the game too.
Octoling, yeah,
so
for sure. That use like Splatoon 2 weapons, because the Inkling specifically uses Splatoon 1 stuff in there.
Yeah, that would be very cool if we could get that.
For sure.
And other than that, like. I mean, I'm not, obviously stages. I'm hoping maybe we just get. I hope we get the stages that are missing from older games that we don't have yet. Like Mute City from Melee is just gone. Obviously, Pokefloats is the big meme stage that everyone wants back. But what I was thinking was maybe if they bring back Pokefloats, they update it and they have a bunch of Sword and Shield Pokemon for the Pokefloats.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be really dope. Again, it's like we kind of touched on this for Fighter 5 of like what third party characters could be in, because I feel like for third party characters joining the extra fighters, that's where kind of rules jump out the window of, I guess, which company can be represented, because it's not part of a set pass where it feels like they're trying to theme everything. They can do whatever they want. I mean, they could add Gino without a stage or something and just have music. They could add a character like, again, they could have another Square rep. They could have another Capcom rep. It's like, I feel like, man, I would really be shocked if by the end of this, Sora and Dante weren't in. You know what I mean? One of those two.
That would be the big one. I mean, yeah. Like, obviously, my general opinion, I guess this will be set. Well, I guess, okay, we'll talk about it now. My general opinion right now, and I don't know if this is like a hot take, I legitimately do not care who gets into Smash now, as long as they play unique and they are fun, right? Like
exactly.
That was my I think my biggest realization of that was with Corrin, because when Corrin got announced for Smash, likewise, a lot of people were like, fucking why? This is so stupid. We don't need another Fire Emblem character from a character that isn't even out yet, like fucking Roy. It's boring. We had okay. I definitely agree with that, and definitely personally, I think Corrin was a poor pick. But now that when Corrin came out and I got to play the character, easily my favorite character to play in Smash 4. They were so fun. They were very unique for a Fire Emblem character. Yes, I liked how their normals with the A attacks worked, and the cool bite that you could charge separate from the projectile. They had so many cool, unique things about them. And that was the point where Hemi was like, as long as the character's fun and unique, I don't really care who they add at this point.
No, exactly. It's I feel like here's my thing. It's what you said. It's I think it's okay to be disappointed. I remember when the leak happened. Well, yeah, when it leaked on Nintendo's website that an SNK rep was next, I was kind of like, yeah, what the fuck? No, that sucks. But then again, it's watching Terry videos on YouTube just to kind of get an idea of him, and then obviously playing him, I'm like, he's one of my favorite characters. It's you can be disappointed by a character you don't give a shit about, but I think as long as the character is fun and a group of people are happy. I know a friend who doesn't like Banjo and didn't buy the Banjo pack, and that's okay. It's you're not every character is meant to be beloved by everyone, right? I think that's a big important thing. Some characters are meant to serve an audience, right? And it's I think that's okay. And I feel like that's a realization a lot of people come to get when they're a little older. Again, like you said, for Corrin, that was a very divisive character, but it's as soon as you play it, it's hard to deny that the character isn't fun. And obviously that is the biggest thing that matters at the end of the day, that a character is fun to play.
Yeah, again, I think this is the biggest problem with just fighting games in general. I think people become way too focused on the roster and not how the character plays. I think that's the difference. I mean, it's worse for Smash Bros. Because it's using existing characters that are beloved already, right?
Right.
When it comes to look at Street Fighter V. The game did not launch with a lot of the classic characters that people really wanted back, but they added them. But what the problem with it's similar to Street Fighter V. A lot of the original characters they added in SF5 are super fucking good and super fucking fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of people were just this isn't who I want. I want this existing character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But people, I think that's the difference between a casual, I don't mean this in a bad way. Don't take this the wrong way. I think that's the difference between a person who likes fighting games and a person who likes Smash Bros. If you like Smash Bros, you're super into who's next? What character from this video game is gonna get added that I love? But if you're in the fighting games, you're what character am I gonna click with and really enjoy playing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's the unique thing about Smash in general, is that because it is a crossover, and not just that, because Smash Ultimate is a game where DLC can't rely on let's bring this character back, let's bring this character back. It's all up in the wild of who's next. There's for Mortal Kombat, you can always speculate it's either gonna be a Warner Bros character or it's gonna be a returning character. For Street Fighter, same thing. For Street Fighter, you can't really predict. It's either a brand new character they invent or it's going to be a returning character. So it's I feel for Smash, that's what's really cool, and also that's why people go nuts, is because you just don't know. It could be a third party, it could be something else. So back to my question though. Out of the two characters I mentioned, Dante or Sora, who do you think has a better shot of getting in?
Okay. So I think it's hard because so much of Kingdom Hearts has been on Nintendo to begin with.
Yeah.
And okay, here's the thing. People say this a lot, that Kingdom Hearts is not all about Disney, and it's true, right? But in my opinion, and this is not saying that I would not want Sora, but in my opinion, a big part of Kingdom Hearts, of the appeal are the Disney characters. You cannot deny that. And so for me, it would feel weird to have Sora and Kingdom Hearts represented and just sort of have all the Disney characters scuffed out. I feel that doesn't do the series justice in terms of representation. Like I said about Fire Emblem, right? I'm not upset that there's so many characters. I'm upset that they don't represent the franchise they're from very well. And Sakurai really cares about that. A lot of people are saying, oh, Mai couldn't be added because of the ratings board, right? The truth of the matter is, we know Sakurai loves SNK. We know he loves Mai, and and in my opinion, the reason why he didn't put Mai, even though he could have censored her and put her in, because that goes against what the character is about, right?
Exactly.
So that's why I think Sora would be fun as fuck. If we got a Twilight Town stage, you've played Super Smash Flash 2, right?
Yes, yeah.
That Twilight Town stage is beautiful, and I can imagine in Smash graphics how gorgeous it would be. But like, if you just have like none of the Disney characters, it would feel weird. Like, what's Sora without Donald and Goofy and Mickey being somewhere? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I feel like they could do more creative stuff with Dante because they don't have to feel restricted by Disney. Not that Disney has like a chokehold or like wouldn't allow it, but I just feel like it would be restricting to them.
Yeah, again, I do think I think some people overestimate how protective Disney is. I mean, it's not like the fucking games they've put out are fucking 10 out of 10 bangers. Some of them flop, some of them don't do well. If anything, they would want to finally have a thing that represents them in gaming that is actually fantastic. I mean, and again, we've actually seen them open up more, right? Obviously, with letting Marvel games do their thing and have characters represented with different companies, and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on Switch and stuff. So obviously recently we got the what's it called? The Aladdin and Lion King pack where they actually had shitty old demos of the game. So it's like you could tell it's like they are trying to open up in the game sphere, and I don't think there's a single company out there that wouldn't want to be represented in Smash. I really just think it's a matter of who Nintendo wants to pick. Like especially in modern days, like it's rare for someone to just say no nowadays, right?
Yeah, well, it's true because like again, especially with speaking of Nintendo, it's weird because like remember when the DLC characters were coming out and they were like, oh, like Nintendo Sakurai said Nintendo gave me a list of suggestions and I sort of worked off of that.
Yeah.
But at this point, we don't know how many suggestions were on there. How like you know what I mean? Like we don't know at what point that's gonna run out or like who was on there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, it's so again, that's a cool one. But again, I feel like Dante would be really cool. Again, obviously early on in this generation, we had the thing of hey, if you guys want, the creator being like, if you guys want Dante and Smash, let's get the games on Switch first. And obviously we've been seeing those games slowly roll out on Switch. And release times don't mean anything really. Like obviously, like even though DMC3 is coming to Switch in February, it doesn't mean that he's Fighter 5. But I just feel like Dante is one of the last kind of major Japanese characters that hasn't been represented in Smash. Because like we're kind of running out of major mascots from Japan, right? Like other than Lloyd, which is massive because like Tails is really big in Japan, we've got Dante and maybe like a few others from Japan that are missing. And it's like I feel like that's a clear one that could really happen. And obviously with Dante you get the Western audience and the Japanese fans happy, and obviously you can have a crazy cool character in there. So yeah, I mean hopefully out of those two that happens. Again, yeah, I mean obviously we could go on forever because Smash, like what do you think about Master Chief? Do you think that's gonna be a likely candidate for extra fighters?
I would hope so. I mean like I think Master Chief falls in the same line as Doom Guy where the weapons like are like more energy based, and you can still like get across what Halo is about with all that stuff. And we all know like guns aren't the super biggest deal in Smash anymore. So
exactly.
I think that's fine. Like, I think the last thing I do want to touch on is I would love to see more assist trophies. I feel like what in my mind, what was gonna happen was a character would come with a stage and an assist trophy, because every character so far they've had the whole partner quote unquote thing a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I thought, okay, so for Joker, it'd be cool if we got a Morgana assist trophy, and then for Hero a Slime assist trophy, and then maybe Mumbo Jumbo for Banjo, you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I think I sadly think assist trophies are just something they get at launch, and they don't like. I just never think they're gonna add extra assist trophies, just because I think the problem with adding.
I think you're probably right on, because the amount of effort it would take to put in a character like that doesn't add a lot of value to the game itself. You know what I mean? Like we know making this like it's still a business. There's still people working on this that are putting in development time.
Exactly.
I think the amount of development time to put like an assist trophy, it was almost like let's just be honest here. Assist trophies are almost funcking characters that they just don't have a fully fleshed out moveset, and you can't control them.
That's all
right?
it is. Yeah.
So for the most part, I think like the amount of doing that like the amount of effort to go into that is not worth like what they have to do to get it to work, you know.
I think that's why I think that's why they do the thing with like extra stages where they have elements of those characters in the background.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's how they're doing that. It's like, hey, realistically, the assist trophies are either barely going to be touched, or when you're doing the match, there's a 75% chance you're just not going to get that assist trophy. So like that's a thing, and it's like, so yeah, I just feel like, again, as much as I'd like that, I think realistically they know the audience buying DLC especially are people that are playing either 1v1s with no items, or it's just too much work, and they think to themselves, let's just either flesh out more characters or just have them as background cameos. Yeah, so I mean there's stuff like that. What is there any other stuff for Smash? Okay, so here's my kind of other question here. Yeah, so do you think how many character I mean, someone asked this on Twitter actually. Do you think we'll get a tease of character 6 after the reveal of character 5?
I think so. I think that's sort of how they're doing things now, and why they've been sort of more quiet is like they like to sort of build into the next character a little bit more, you know.
Right. Yeah, again, I would love if like I honestly like, so would you rather they announce, like, they don't announce a season 2, but would you rather they announce that you are going to be getting 6 characters at any point in the year, not necessarily in a pack, but there will be 6 characters out this year, or 5 characters, or would you rather they just announce like a season pass and we start, because I feel like I actually would rather it's just random, because I feel like the fighter pack, the fighter pass has caused so much, like, I love obviously the conversation, but it causes everyone to always think of it as a pack of like, okay, this franchise is represented in this pack, so there's not going to be another one, so there's going to be this, and it's like, and it creates too much like closed thinking. Whereas if it's just like random fighters, like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be that they come with a stage. It could be one day they drop a bunch of echoes. It can be that you can finally get Gino, but the developers don't have to work on a full stage and like 50 songs, right? It's like, I feel like that's a better way to go about it now, because that way you don't have to have a full promise of everything. You can have them make characters faster if they're not making extra modes and making extra, even spirits. Like, they don't have to necessarily come with that. So that would be something.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, do you have...
hit up about everything we wanted to,
yeah, for sure. I mean, so I guess at the end of the day, I think we're both pretty excited for Smash in 2020, right?
Yeah, no, I think, 2019 was really good, but I think...
Yeah.
I think maybe even if it slows down a little in 2020, I think they're gonna really give it their all to give us like what a lot of people are wanting. You know what I mean? I feel like 2019 was great because I don't think they ever like dropped the ball on anything. And like, you know, I don't feel like any character release was botched. I mean, maybe because Joker crashed the servers, but everything, and they learned from that, and that never happened again. You know?
Yeah, never. It's crazy.
So. Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's no reason to not be excited for 2020. I think they're just going to keep delivering what fans want.
I agree, and again, like, obviously, in just the general talk of, I think in general, Smash talk is some of the biggest in gaming in general, not even just fighting game community. Just it's one of the biggest talking points in gaming, and obviously, we're going to keep talking about stuff. And again, I just hope we get that direct soon so we can, because I feel like we haven't had a character revealed since September. It's like it will have been in January. It's going to be 5 months since we've heard of. Well, we are January. It's going to be 5 months since we've heard about a new Smash character. So I think it is fair that people are hungry now, right?
Yeah.
And I just think it's time. And again, I think we're gonna have a good 2020. Whether it's Evo, whether it's new stuff, and I'm just excited to see what the rollout is for extra fighters. Like, what does that mean exactly? And I think we're gonna find out soon. And I'm excited for the team. I mean, in a good way, this means we could maybe see the return of a Smash Direct, right? If they're doing stuff like extra fighters where they announce more than we expect and stuff like that. So that would be really cool. Yeah, so I think that about does it. We've covered everything, and so in the comments, let us know your speculation for 2020. Let us know what you're excited for, and we'll see you all next week and cover some more Smash always. So you can follow me on Twitter at UUKami, that's YUYUKAMII, and obviously Ultima, it's Ultima Shadow X, right?
Yep, still rocking the edgy
still rocking the
12-year-old
exactly.
name. Let's go.
There it is. All right, so thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace out.